Hey there, welcome to another episode of Eve News, Weather, and Sports. I'm Mike Azariah. Today is June the 8th, 2026, and let's get down into it. Not a lot to talk about this week, next week, hopefully a lot more, because tomorrow Exordium and Cradle of War and the big expansion comes out. Now, if you're curious about the things they're going to be adding, the devs and the producers themselves actually put up a video, link will be down below, chatting about it with CCP Ratati, Okami, Swift, and Berger. And they aren't CCP anymore, they are FC. If it was, they were saying during FanFest, every time you get it up, take a drink. Even practicing, you tell my drink's already half empty. But, anyways, as I said, the Cradle of War expansion is coming out tomorrow. I've been prepping a lot today, trying to get ships in the right place for Exordium. I expect a lot of new vets to be pretending to be new bros and make accounts just to see what Exordium is like and maybe get a ship from the bus. I do not mind. I don't care who is whose alt. If that character is 30 days or less, I give you a ship. It's as easy as that. I don't have little quizzes to detect who's really a new bro and who's really a vet. Don't care. Makes for much less stress on my part. In addition, the other thing that came out today is the monthly economic report for the game, and it's got a few interesting things. Unfortunately, the ISK velocity is still dropping. Unfortunately, the ISK value is still increasing, and somebody in Reddit had a great quote. I won't be linking to that directly, just the mare itself, but they said that for some players, the game is a wealth accumulation simulator. In other words, they are collecting the cash and it doesn't have velocity because they want to see how big the pile can get. I was in another game, Elder Scrolls Online. It was kind of funny because they've now got a room that just stacks higher and higher with gold the more money that you have on your bank. So you have a visual feedback and a chance to see, I am rich, or one copper in the corner, I am poor. Personally, I enjoy looking at it, but accumulating wealth has never really been a thing for me in the games. That's not how I define what a win is. But for some it is. Violence is going up and down. Mining was up, but then there was an event where mining was part of the event. So you can't really say that mining is going up as a natural trend, more as an artificial trend caused by the event itself. That's the last thing I wanted to mention about kind of the theme for this one is there's big changes around the corner and people react to the changes and then it takes a while. There's a spike and then things settle down. And it's up to Fenris Creations to decide, was it a good change? Was it a bad change? What did it do what we planned it to do or not? And you can't take the first week or even the first month. It's like they say in the hospital, sometimes you gotta wait for the drugs to take effect. You gotta wait for the medicine to actually be able to tell whether it's white coat fever or something is actually happening that you want it to have happen. Personally, I'm hoping that this does affect the lowers the churn of the game, because the game has a lot of new bros that come in and quit. And it's kind of scary how many come in and quit within 2 hours of starting. And see, take a drink. I'm going to get it right or I'm going to get blasted. FC has said that they want to increase the number of players who actually stay long enough for Eve to get its claws into them so that they actually become part of the game. A game cannot last forever, especially with the age limit of, not age limit, but the average age of players in this game is a little higher than a lot of games, which means, and I'm sorry to say that, some of us are dying. And if we don't replace the people who've quit, the people who've moved on, the people who have lives, the people who don't have lives, and don't bring new players into the game will die as well. Now, I know Eve is dying as a meme. I've talked about it in talks myself, but we do want to see the game go on. And I am happy to see FC work on trying to get better retention at the start so we have a bigger influx of players coming in to find out what a great game it is. If they don't work at that, or if they're unsuccessful at that, this game will slowly decline. So there'll be the usual music extra link down below. There'll be a link to the MER. And let's get on to the traffic, which is movement. Init lost 586, but given the size of Init, that's not that many. Uh, oh man, I should have written neater. Soleoctonium down 379. That's in corporations. In violence, nullsec, Fortec H, Hotel Whiskey Foxtrot 314 over 209. In lowsec, it was Amazon with, and this struck me as odd, 355 ships and 355 pods. Damn if they didn't get every guy in their little dog Toto too. And in high sec, it was Udama with 1,451 over 175. Udama is between Jita and Uli right now, and so people are trying to move ships and move materials over there going through a choke point, and I suppose the players who like to do that sort of thing are taking advantage of the fact the buses are going through. I went through a few times and they didn't shoot at me, but somebody said I have plot armor. I don't know if that's true or not. Normally, if you're a known name, that makes you first on the list to be shot. But there you are. And in NPC space, it was Lima X-Ray 5 Kilo TAC Whiskey with 60,456. So that again is owned by Dracaris. Dracaris has been running it quite a while. It's like they do have their areas that they are doing their best to kill as many NPCs and run the sanctums or whatever it is they're doing down there and make the money. So that was the thing I wanted to chat about with you for today. I hope that you have a lovely week this week. It's a little rainy where I am, which is why I'm not outside and why it's evening time before I got around to recording this. I've been a bit under the weather still, but I'm back to drinking what's good for me, orange juice, and what's bad for me, rum. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Weekend is over. To your health. Slansha. Later, Gators.